Welcome everyone to uh, I'm doing this on YouTube and Instagram, so it's about to start here. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Welcome everyone to the first Remember to Breathe weekly meditation. You can join on Instagram Live, you can join on YouTube Live, and you can also sign up and join on Zoom so that we're all in the room together. But we're just going to get started. I want to share the inspiration for this weekly meditation started with this book, The Tao of Movement Building, that I recently published this past spring. And it's a book about movement building from a deeply rooted place. And I go through the 81 chapters of the Tao Te Ching and offer my own interpretation in relationship to movement building. And so, what we're going to do here is begin with the first chapter. And each week, we're going to read another chapter. So, chapter one of the Tao of Movement Building, the Tao that can be told is not the eternal Tao. The movement that can be organized, spoken about, fundraised for, campaigned, and won is not the movement that flickers around the fires of our ancestors who dreamed us into being. The indescribable movement, the pulse of life that drives us forward, is the movement beyond and within all particular movements. Through sacrifice to your singular cause, you liberate yourself into the great expanse of service to all life. In turning to the unknown source with faith, you receive the guidance, strength, and skill for your next step. Having the courage to be in awe of the great mystery deep in your heart and all around you liberates the explosive energy of dedication and devotion to your cause, your mission, your great work that is woven into the tapestry of the great work and the great turning. When you allow your heart and whole being to be thrown into the work with inner abandon, tempered by tremendous discipline, commitment, refinement, and precision, the farther you enter into it, the deeper it is. The more you learn, the more you want to learn. So that's chapter one of the Tao of Movement Building. Next week, we'll move on to chapter two. So I want to invite you, if you're able, to close your eyes. I'm going to do that myself. And just take a deep breath and relax into this moment, allowing everything that has come before to have a different perspective, to look at it from the perspective of wisdom, having that detachment enough to be able to breathe, to let go, and to have some spaciousness so you can see things with greater perspective. And through that, through this one brief meditation each week, we'll be able to breathe new life into our life, into the things that we cherish, that we care about, that we're responsible for, that we can take even better care of what is ours to take care of. And I want to invite you to imagine yourself as a tree here in this moment. You can take a moment to connect to a particular tree that is meaningful to you, that you have a relationship with in your life, a tree that you actually know, maybe on a piece of land that you love to visit or near your home. Or maybe it's a tree that only exists at this point in your imagination. But imagine yourself as that tree, the trunk, the branches, and the roots. Feel the roots stretching in all directions around you, allowing you to feel stable, allowing you to feel grounded, allowing you to feel rooted in Mother Earth. And then that particular taproot, that center point in your being, let's connect to that. And from that moment, or from this moment, let's really get into our bodies and just take a few deep breaths. And if you need to stretch your neck, your shoulders, your spine, your hips, and I want to invite us to imagine that we are all old growth trees in the making. Through our consciousness and awareness, as we remember the deep roots of life, our ancestors that go back thousands of years, we truly are, through our ancestors, old growth trees. And then we can feel that connection to each other, everyone that's here live, participating in this meditation, and then anyone that's listening to the recording, that we're all in that synchronicity of time connected, just like an old growth forest. And this is a vision that I've been sourcing myself in for many, many years that gives me the strength, the wisdom, the courage to keep going in the face of all the insanity that is around us in the world, the volatility, the hurricanes of human expression that we see all around us. That this meditation, it's an opportunity for us to root ourselves, to take a stand, and to stand for health, well-being, wisdom, courage, mindfulness, nobility, sacrifice to life, to our regenerative future, that we can be the ones that others can look to in their time of need, that we can be a calming voice, we can be a source of guidance, a hand to hold, an ear that listens to others in their time of need. And through that, we can make our way from day to day, from week to week, into the future. We're in a time right now when we look around, it's hard to know, it's hard to see that viable future, that regenerative future with the polarities of what is happening out in the world. And here, this is an opportunity to let that go for a moment and to understand that taking this time for yourself, taking this time for yourself is an opportunity for you to actually be able to show up more effectively for others, to be a peaceful warrior in this world. So I want to invite us again into that visualization of the tree, yourself, and now imagine all of the people, the change makers, all of us who care so deeply about life, all of us who are waking up and remembering that we are life. Life is expressing itself through us. We are part of nature and consciousness and awareness. We are the intelligence of the earth. I want to invite in the teachings of the noosphere. I learned about the noosphere from Jose Argoyes, and they were first brought into being, as far as I know, by Teilhard de Chardin, to remember that we are connected to each other, both our intelligence and our adolescence, so to speak. And so, this practice of unifying our conscious awareness and rooting ourselves into our deeper sense of purpose and revitalizing ourself at this moment. It's an act of reconnecting us with the deep roots of our regenerative future. And what I mean by that is when we connect to our past individually and collectively, the deep past, even before written history, there were cultures that existed that honored life, and it was part of the way their culture worked. And it's why it worked so well. We'll be getting into that more from week to week. But for now, to root ourselves in this deep, deep memory of our intrinsic knowing of who we are and what we're here doing as human beings, caring for life and being grateful for life, being joyful in the care that we give to take care of the preciousness of life, our relationships, the gardens that we're putting to bed here in the fall, the sunlight that is getting less and less as we move towards the winter solstice, and our relationships with each other. So, here again, let's root ourselves. Let's root ourselves in this interconnected field with all the people that you know and those that you don't know, who are all focused on a viable future for the generations to come, that we're holding on to that vision for the sake of all of life. Let's do that together, feeling our roots interconnected, feeling the trunk of each of our trees, and then the branches creating a canopy of connection. And let's imagine and to feel and imagine as our feeling grows, we're able to imagine further, we're able to vision further. Let's feel and imagine that our presence here in this moment is a stabilizing force for all the chaos that's in the world. And as we grow this meditation circle, each and every week, this practice will grow. We'll be able to feel it more palpably. This stabilizing force. And then we can also connect to all of the other places where people are practicing conscious awareness and bringing stability, bringing intelligence, bringing calm and clear focus on behalf of well being for all of life. So we're connecting to all of that, the network of all of it, and receiving the energy of stability as well as generating it together, that reciprocity. And so coming back to the first chapter of the Tao of movement building, speaking about your particular cause, your purpose, the movement that you are most connected with in your life, the work that you do, and seeing that as one of the trees in the forest, one of the roots that is connected to the vast movement of life into the future, that we're going to find a way. Life finds a way. All of the calculating, it's necessary, it's important. As parents who have children, we need to look ahead with rational, grounded minds. But that rational mind can only take us so far especially when all the numbers add up to something that is hard for us to digest. How is this project of life going to continue in the current circumstance? From a rational perspective, it boggles the mind. And so maybe that's what is needed right now, for us to hold that intellectual, rigorous understanding, but at the same time, hold a deeper sense of feeling that no matter what happens, here I am, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to, in this moment, be a source of stability. I'm going to be connected to a source of wisdom, of courage, so that I can be here for others. And I can be here for the parts of myself that need guidance, that need support. So thank you so much for joining today, this first Remember to Breathe weekly meditation. Really appreciate each and every one of you taking the time to show up for yourself, first and foremost. And then for me, it's encouraging. I'm just getting the word out about this, and I'm excited to feel this one moment in the week, 10, 15, 20 minutes, where we can come together and in a short period of time energize ourselves so that we can show up as our best selves and also get into the deep research that has been growing around the social impact of group meditations. It's a whole field of study now, and it's one that inspires me and inspired me to create this weekly touch point together. So thank you so much for being here today. And I look forward to seeing you next Tuesday at 12 o'clock for us to go deeper, to remember ourselves. And I invite you to remember this connection point throughout the week, in the times and the moments where maybe you lose your balance. This will help you come back into balance. Excuse me. And next week, we'll be going into chapter 2 of the Tao of movement building. So I want to invite you, if you'd like, to rub your hands together and rub your hands so they're warm. And if you want to just wipe your face, and give yourself a little shoulder massage and your back, and pat yourself on the back. You did a good job. Thank you for being here, and look forward to next time. All right. Thank you, everyone.